So we have a box, a said box containing a Thorn Riga that I bought off eBay. Let's open this up. That wasn't very accurate. Hope I just didn't stab that. Yeah, I think that's gonna need. Don't mind the primary school scissors here, but that's looking more hopeful. Can't even see what I'm doing. That's the end of the box. What way have I opened this? That's not the right way to open this. I just want to open this way. That would be slightly more logical if it opened this way. Oh well. You know what, let's just... Right, I've spent about 2 minutes opening this box. Right, this is good. You probably can't even see anything. Or you can actually. Right. It's just gonna open up then. Hold on. I need to do it here. Right, this looks good. So, oh. You know what, let's just turn this. What the flip if I just start? Right, the box is just going to fall apart. So I think I can just lift this out. Like so. Very good. Right, let me just take all these boxes away. So, one Thorn Riga. It's actually a lot smaller than I thought. Looking good. So, where should I start? A good starting point would actually to be angling the camera where I can see what I'm doing. So, the main body is polycarbonate, or not polycarbonate, GRP, glass reinforced plastic. So quite often once it loses its paint coating, it'll start shedding, so it tends to go a bit more white. And then the back compartment is polypropylene, and then it's got a wee screw there, so you take the back compartment off and then you can access the bolts for this here, which is the mounting system. Don't know why my phone just told me that I've got storage problems even though I don't. Keeps doing this, it's really annoying. So I don't know what's wrong with the mounting system. It's not really working properly, but that can be accessed via this back compartment. That's just polypropylene. And then the main bit is glass reinforced plastic. So after a while this kind of sheds, so it becomes white. So quite often you'll see these, because these are like 20 years old, you'll see that grey the way it is now and this white. So it looks quite weird. So we've got two branded clips, Thorn, and there's like a frosted kind of section of the bull because the gear's included in the area with the bull, so that's frosted to kind of disguise it. Right, I just offloaded a bunch of apps so I can actually video this. Hopefully it won't do the weird thing that it was doing before. So, back to the overview. We've got a NEMA socket here, not there, there. Don't know why I wasn't really looking at what I was doing, I was looking at the screen. NEMA socket there, so you put your photocell on that and then it knows when to turn on, for those of you that are basic knowledge. Just robbed that off my Arrow, it's actually a 2.1, which is actually the design that replaced the actual one of these that was on my road. So I can stick that on if it wants to go in. Maybe it's that one. Yeah, I'm going to open up the optical compartment. It's got a few cracks, but that's okay. So two big clips, they're actually quite large. They open like goodness. Good sturdy clips. I have two clips, get the other one. These are so stiff, why are this? Not like a Thorn clip to be very stiff, but so your bowl just swings down like that. Pretty nice. So that's where your power goes in, and I'll touch on that later. That's your reflector, so that doesn't move. For these, the reflector doesn't move for the different optics. The whole gear tray moves, so the lamp will be further in, so it'll kind of direct the beam more. Got a little sticker there. Riga Plus 70 watt 240 volt IP66. Yep, looking good. There might be a date code in this. Maybe not. Not that I can see at the moment. So yeah, not much more to say about here for now, at least. So that can close back up, and then we'll take a look at the back compartment. So these were installed in my estate, and the thing that absolutely traumatized me was, well, first of all, I'm just going to talk about a big design flaw of the Riga, and I don't know why. Well, two design flaws. One, which is why I was quite traumatized by the removal of them. I was only 9. So these you can only well, I wouldn't say normal, but regular streetlights these days have a trapdoor spigot. These, for some reason, you have to cut it out. Don't know why. Don't know if Thorn just couldn't be bothered. And I also don't know what that is, or whether it's just for water drainage, but yeah. So that's like a flaw, because then they're just a nuisance to have to install, because you have to cut it out. Don't know what I just said there. Right, so all the Rigas in my estate were mounted side entry, and the way you, this is the other design flaw. So the screws aren't on the outside for mounting the fixture, and there's that one that takes off the back compartment, which I'll actually show now if I have an appropriate screwdriver, which I do, for once I actually have the correct screwdriver. So this should come off. So that's the back compartment, so you would cut that out, and there's a size for 34mm and a size for 42mm. So you would, so that's your locking mechanism. So obviously when you twist those, that will go further that way, so the pole's locked in, or else you just put that plate round and have it like that, so it loops round like that for the side entry mounting, which is the way it was in my estate. So the problem is, let me just put this back on to demonstrate if it wants to go back in, which it does actually. That's good. So I'll just screw that on roughly for now. So the problem was with ours, those screws just rust. So the only way for them to be removed is like that there, just repeatedly hitting it. And like, I didn't want them to break, so it was quite scary just seeing these all being whacked. Just like, obviously I'm not going to ruin this example the way all the other ones were, but yeah, that's the reason they were all hammered down. Some contractors just can't be bothered with life anyway, so yep. I probably will cut out this piece here so I can mount the side entry, well, this specific one, just so it looks like the ones that were in my estate. So I'm going to try and get this up and running. That is, if I can find the cable, which I just have. So I'm going to need to put this in through the post-up column entry, since I don't have the side entry version drilled yet, which I will do once I've got it restored, but I just want to get it up and running in the meantime. So that should pass through there. If it was side entry, you pass it through there. If it was post-up, you pass it through there. I'm just going to pass it through here. There's no real compulsory way that you have to do it when you're not putting the pole in. So let me flip this round. That should then feed that through the wee gland, if it actually wants to go through the gland. Tighten it a wee bit. Not sure how much of this cable I'm going to need, so I'll feed a bit more through. Right, that'll do for now. I just have this wired up to a kettle lead, like so. Took the gear tray out and had a wee look at the components. So it turns out this is from 2014, and that's why it's in such good condition. So I'll open up the bowl. Let me my desk lamp back. It's a wee bit in a mess. It broke off and then I had to turn it around to get it to actually function. Don't know what I'm going to do about that. Oh, I've got plenty of cable. Right, so that just flips around. I think I'll prop this up. Now maybe I can only prop it up if I have the base on. You know what, this is actually working. I just move the bowl. The bowl can be touching the tripod, that doesn't really matter too much. So, neutral, I think these are unscrewed. Now I can give them a wee turn. That should be good. Right, neutral. In we go. Please stay in. Only it's not going to stay in. So I'm going to have to do this with 2 hands and hope for the best. Can't actually see what I'm doing. And neither can you probably. Right, that's the neutral in. Earth. Not that there really is anything to earth, I guess the gear tray, but nothing externally. These were quite cheap lanterns. They were made to replace the Thorn Beta 79. I could get a catalogue for that right now. You can kind of see the similarities. And then the Beta 79 replaced the Beta 7 and the Beta 9. So, that's good actually. They're all tight. So, a lamp would be good. 70 watt high pressure sodium. I currently have this set to the side road optic. Or on the residential optic, but we're just sticking to the side road. It doesn't really matter. It's lighting up my bedroom, not a road, so it really doesn't matter anymore. Here's the bowl back up. What on earth just happened? Right, that's good. Flip this over. Take out the excess. I don't think there's too much to take out. Right, that's adequate. Goodness me. Okay, maybe there is. Right, well, stick with that. Feed that back through, don't need that anymore. Oh, it even has a wee lip there, that's quite nice. So, where did my back compartment go? Oh, right, it's on the floor. More to the point, where's the screw? Also just find the screw. Right. That's good. So, flip it over. It will need a NEMA socket for it to work. But then it's going to turn off. So I'm going to have to put a cloth over it. Right, I've stuck a cloth over the photocell, so I think we're safe to turn this on. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's loud. That lamp warmed up quite nicely there. It's got quite a loud ballast. There we go, that's it warming up. Lovely. The nostalgia. I've missed these. I used to watch this warm up on the one out there every evening until I was 9. And they all got the hammer treatment. Oh, that's why that was so loud. Because this isn't on properly. Because I didn't put it on properly and that needs to be fixed. So, I'll take this off the photocell and it'll switch off after a while. It's got a delay in case it gets tampered with. So I'll turn off shortly. Like so. So, nice little lantern. Shame I didn't get the original, but at least I have something.